everybody. You're live Monday night with Sherry Shriner. Should be an interesting night. If somebody is recording the show, I'd appreciate it. I'm not sure I'm going to manage to not mess this up tonight. So, a new program I'm working with. So, if somebody else could record it and send it to me, I'd appreciate that. Some of my audio editing software I haven't gotten on this computer yet. It's been a time of, last couple of weeks just getting really hammered with viruses. It wiped out my old computer. A lot of stuff I was working on is gone. At the same time, just getting a lot of hacking on my websites, hacking my pictures off of Sananda and Maitreya, even the graphic of my one book, Aliens on the Internet. Just trying to send a message who's behind all the attacks I've had lately. And so I'm still kind of in the middle of getting reset up. I've lost a lot of files. I've lost a lot of things I was working on. I had mentioned the last couple of weeks I was working on an article on Maitreya and just going through some of his information and kind of doing a sidebar. And now that's gone. All the stuff I was working on, real mystery. It's gone. So I'll have to redo that. A lot of things I'm going to have to redo. They're just angry, folks. They're angry. They hate it to be exposed for who and what they are. And anybody who's doing it's going to be on the end of their crap, I guess you could say. And I've been going through it for a long time, but it's getting a lot more vicious, especially this month. And it was interesting because Benny Hinn's over in Jerusalem as we speak, probably waiting for the big Blue Beam light show. And he's going to be there till the 15th. And I was looking at the Bible code Comet Holmes. Interesting, because the viruses I got on my computer were not from emails. They weren't from the normal sources you'd get a virus bomb attack from. They were literally virus bombs from some kind of backdoor entrance, because my Bible codes program, which isn't even connected to the internet in any way, I can work with that offline, was virus bombed. And I had to totally reinstall that. And so interesting at the times when I'm looking at writing an article up on Maitreya himself in his own words, exposing him for what he is and what he says in his own words. Also at the same time, Comet Holmes, at the same time, Benny Hinn's in Jerusalem, and then just all this virus bombing going on and ruining my whole radio show setup and everything that's been going on. But some of the funny things I saw in this Comet Holmes was crossing at the very top of the code itself was the word dismounting. And I found it interesting that Maitreya wasn't even mentioned by his name, Maitreya, in the code. It was all Jesus Christ. And of course we know that's not the name of the Son of God that's coming. That's the name of Satan's general, the false prophet that's coming. His name's going to be Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ dismounting from Comet Holmes. And so I looked at the Space Orbit website, and they talked about there being an explosion on October 22nd in space from this comet. And I wondered if that was the same thing, if they had some kind of relation together. If he was catching a ride into our atmosphere on this comet and dismounting and somehow going to make some kind of an appearance here on Earth soon. Naturally coming through the clouds with his angelic hosts. I've been warning about that for years. This whole Blue Beam Project facade, I have written about it and have other people's stuff on my site at thewatcherfiles.com about this Blue Beam Project. You can also Google it. This whole Second Coming of Christ spectacular NASA Hollywood charade that they have planned to bring in Jesus Christ as the Messiah. And so interesting, it's related to this Comet Holmes. Benny Hinn always claiming Jesus Christ is going to appear on stage with him. And he's not, yes, he is a liar and a kook. He's also Satan's mouthpiece on earth. And so that's why I've always told you guys, pay attention to what Benny Hinn says. Because he's actually one of Satan's biggest pawns on earth, one of his biggest mouthpieces on earth. And they'll probably use Benny Hinn to help bring in the Antichrist and false prophet to the earth and have all the churches falling for this charade that this Maitreya and this Jesus Christ are the son of God, ascended masters. I know Maitreya is coming as a world teacher. But the whole Christianity crowd's going to get schmoozled over by this Jesus Christ. And so, I know a lot of people say they're not going to be deceived, they're going to know what's going on, but you know what, folks, the real truth is that the people who aren't deceived by the coming charades are going to be a very, very small reality. You're talking about maybe 1 in every 1,000 people that are going to fall for it, because it's very, very small. Very, very small. Something that, the Lord was reminding me last week, the sheer numbers are going to be overwhelming of how many believe that this Satan's general coming, posing as Jesus Christ, is actually Jesus Christ. They're going to believe it. They're going to believe it. The majority is going to believe it. If you think you're hated now, because you've realized what a liar and manipulator the Apostle Paul was and how he led Christianity astray, and you know what a minority you are, just imagine the minority you're going to be by rejecting this Jesus Christ that's coming, saying he's not the Son of God, he's Satan's general, he's a pawn of Satan's. They will be ready to cut your head off. I know a lot of people in the churches today, you just take their Paul away and they start seeing red and purple, and they can't even handle for 1 second that there's a lot of truth in that. They don't want to believe it. Just imagine when Jesus comes. And that's why I think it's so important to call him the Son of God by his real name, Yahushua. Interesting that the rabbi in Jerusalem, and I'd saved all that to talk about it this week, but all that's gone now. The rabbi, before he was dying or dead or something, put on a piece of paper the name of the Son of God, and it was Yahushua, and that's what I've been claiming for years. His name is Yahushua. You can ask him yourself, and he'll tell you his name is Yahushua. And that's just something most people won't do. They don't expect to ever get an answer from the Lord. But that's why you need to ask him to teach you how to hear his voice. He talks to your heart, not your head. Satan talks to your head. Technology talks to your head. Maitreya's going to talk to your head. Yeah, he plans on coming and doing some kind of telepathic show where he's not literally going to speak to anybody. He's going to speak telepathically to your minds. And so somebody had sent me an email asking me how we could stop that from happening. Because you don't want that evil freak speaking to your mind. I've told you, don't even watch him on television. These new plasma TVs have a real purpose coming up, because they can be manipulated by demonic and alien beings. They're like an open window into your house. They can walk right into your house through these plasma TVs, this technology that's coming out. And I've told Christians, don't get these newer TVs. Stick to your old digitals. If they don't work anymore, so be it. You don't want the new stuff. It'll come a time when the Lord won't even want us with the TVs on, because this Maitreya, when he speaks, he's hypnotic, and I've talked about his hypnotic abilities before. I did a code on him a long time ago, something about, I think I called it his toxic perfume or toxic cologne. There's something about him, there's a chemical about him that's real toxic, and he can put people in a state of hypnotism. You don't even have to be around him. You can just be listening to him. And yes, he would be able to affect Christians. Christians think they're not going to be able to be affected by this, or they're going to have some kind of mystery protection from the Most High. No, if he told you not to watch him, don't watch him. Because if you do watch him, then he's just going to give you what you deserve. To be overcome by these fools. And so, do as the Lord says, do as he leads. He doesn't have you, if he has you turning off your TV, unplugging it from the wall, throwing it out in the yard, do so. Because when these guys arrive, folks, we're heading straight into the tribulation period. Maitreya is the rider of the black horse.